This is something that I've been waiting for a long time, and that's a Jason movie that we can all be happy that that we got something like a horror fashion. That is that a Jason Voorhees horror movie is on its way, and I think the date is going to be somewhere in 2026. But this is very important to the horror fans. We've got Michael Myers. They still shopping around trying to think about what studio is going to take upon Halloween as far as Michael Myers' future projects, TV series, and that such. So they still shopping around trying to see which studio is going to get in that, so we continue seeing, great Halloween projects involving Michael Myers. But for the meantime, in between time, we got Jason. They already, I think, wrapped up the Jason sequel of his new movie coming out. And as I state, that new Jason movie and the video game will both be out somewhere in 2026. But they haven't narrowed any time frame and specific details on what date in 2026 that the Jason movie will be dropping. But this is what's so special about Jason, though. The thing that's special about Jason is that it's like you get something different every time. It's not like you get the same Jason. It's like it's always something that I feel that Jason brings new to, just the whole trying to figure out. I guess I could say, mystique. Another some certain words. You get something new with Jason, and I feel like with each film that they make, with Friday the 13th, it's something that I feel like they, take the time and they just continuously just, try to get better. It's not like they move backwards. It's like with this film, they taking it back into the 70s, because I seen something somewhere. Excuse me. Now, they shooting scenes and it's based off in I think the 70s, and so you're gonna expect to see a lot of 70, clothing, that they will be presenting within that movie. So it seems like as if they're gonna go to, I guess, when Jason was a kid. They're gonna start all the way back over from that part, and I guess they're gonna like try to figure out to see if they're gonna try to start it to where he's I guess 8 maybe, and what led like from that age and that gap. We seen what kind of like led to him being on that, but I think they're gonna dig deeper in the details on what made Jason, the slasher that we all know that he became. Right? So this is what I think that they're going to present, because I haven't seen any Jason movies to where they didn't go back to when he was like at least 8 or 9. It was almost as if like, we seen like the very first one, which I seen like a little piece of, because the first one was as if like, I think with Jason was maybe like 5, and his mother kind of like, pushed him helped him, getting him pushed into, the killer that he is, because his mother had, evil intentions, and she wanted that to go so far as in, to her son Jason. So there is one film that dropped in August 13th. It's a short film, and I want y'all to check it out if y'all get time. It's a Jason Voorhees short film, and it's kind of getting us ready for the sequel that's upcoming for 2026, the movie. But it's called Sweet Revenge. So Sweet Revenge is, like I said, it's an on-screen short film, and they shot it in San Diego. I'm thinking it's San Diego. No, it's San Diego Comic Con. You know, they got their first look at the short film. But the film, you know, it brings Jason back. And it's already, you know, people have been speaking on it, but I don't know if any, you know, if a lot of people really know of it. So the whole project is sponsored by, of course, Angry Orchard. And according to the Jason universe, the fans, you know, the film provides, you know, somewhat horror, of course, you know, with blood-soaked surprises only, you know, Jason can deliver. That's what we know. So check out that, you know, The Sweet Revenge short film. And I feel like that's something that's going to, like I stated, it will get us ready for you know, the new up and coming, you know, movie of Jason that's for 2026. But movie watchers, you know, people who love horror movies the way I do, I feel like I'm gonna still go back and, you know, into is what I've been thinking, man. For the new character for this Jason movie, I feel like, you know, if we all know that Jason is 6'9", which I just come to realize that because somebody in the comments corrected me. Since we know that Jason is that tall, he got to be stocky too. You know, he can't just be 6'9". You know, if you Jason, you got to have a little meat on your bones. You know, you got to be, you know, I feel like Braun Strowman would be, you know, if y'all don't know who Braun Strowman is, that's a wrestler. So if you're going to have somebody, I feel like Braun Strowman will be the best candidate for that. Braun Strowman is like the size of a Jason. For Jason, you know, to play as a, you know, the main character being Jason himself, you need somebody that's, you know, it's just more than just height. It got to be an intimidating factor along with it. Just because somebody's tall doesn't mean they intimidate. You know, you have to have actual weight. So, yeah, somebody like Braun Strowman should be doing should be playing Jason in a new Jason movie. That's, you know, like I said, slated somewhere in 2026. And I feel like that would be somebody that could be believable. Somebody that, you know, people will, you know, wouldn't mind coming out the pocket, you know, into saying like, okay, if I'm gonna spend my money on somebody, it has to be somebody that's gonna be, you know, for the main character, believable for me to want to go see and not feel like I should have to regret anything after I see it. Like, if you got Braun Strowman or somebody of size on top of the height, it's going to like draw people into, you know, the selling of itself, because Braun Strowman has the acting chops of delivering intimidation, because that's what he do in the ring. So for that to, you know, go over to the movie side, as far as horror, we talking about horror movie. That is the perfect movie that I feel like he can, you know, fully sell off of, you know, the intimidation factor along with the horror spill added on top of it. Because we got to think about it. Kane in 2008, yes, the wrestler Kane, he was in See No Evil. He looked like himself. He had, you know, the whole look as he did, except for he didn't have his ring attire, but he had on like regular clothing attire with like, I think, no shirt. But he was a killer. And that sold itself because it made Kane even that much more scary. But we didn't think that Kane can get more scary than he does when he's in the ring, playing his character. So for See No Evil, and seeing Kane in that world, in the acting world, it really showed like, damn, like Kane can go a little deeper. He can get a little darker. as far as selling off, you know, the character that he portrays in the ring, and as we saw outside the ring onto the big screen. That's why I feel like Kane can also be, a Michael Myers if they wanted to choose to make another Halloween movie. I feel like Kane would be the best version that I could feel like, okay, I can go with him. Because we saw what he brought in 2008 and See No Evil. So with Braun Strowman, same thing. See how he can deliver with his character and his selling points in the entertainment world and wrestling. Now, I feel like for him to be able to bring that same selling point and bring it over into, the acting world for his character to be able to showcase off in a different brim of light, like under another, brim of light, like as far as like people to see him in another type of atmosphere, that will bring a selling point to have people like, okay, I can't miss this. Like I know that he gonna come through and do what he's supposed to do, as somebody that's portraying a character of a Jason. And that's pretty much it, man. So be on the lookout for that in 2026 sometime. The new Jason movie. If you ain't seen Sweet Revenge, I think it's the name of the short film, see that. Sensei's Reality TV. I'll holler at y'all later. One love. Peace.